Hello, fifth graders. Miss Aloud here. Welcome to Unit 2, Week 4, Lesson 1 of Wonders. Today we will be working with this week's Read Aloud, and the genre for the week is narrative poem. A few features of a narrative poem are it tells a story, has characters and dialogue, and it may rhyme or it may not. We will also be working with the reread comprehension strategy. Remember, it's important to use when identifying key details, making sense of parts of a text that aren't clear, and also you can use the reread strategy to clarify or determine the meaning of words by going back and looking for context clues. This week's inquiry question is, how important is motivation and planning when working to achieve a goal? Before I begin reading, I just want to say that sometimes making something happen and working towards a goal takes determination and sometimes a willingness to follow advice of others. I will be reading a narrative poem titled How to Make a Friend. And in this poem, a boy listens to his older brother's advice about making a new friend. Okay, as I read, please look for some of the features of the narrative poem. Remember, it tells a story, it has characters and dialogue, and it may or may not rhyme. All right, I will go ahead and begin. How to make a friend. Two brothers were walking home from school. The younger one asked, "Is there a rule for making friends? We've been here a week, and I still can't get up the nerve to speak when anyone looks at me at all. Mostly I blend into the walls. With other kids, though, I don't blend. So tell me, how do you make a friend?" The older brother scratched his head. "Make a friend? That sounds," he said, "like something a mad scientist might do in a lab on a stormy night. Okay, I know it's a common expression." I'm going to stop right there and I'm going to go back and reread. I just read that it says, "I know it's a common expression," and I want to figure out what do they mean? It's a common expression. What are they talking about? So as I go back and reread, it says the older brother scratches his head. Making a friend? That sounds like something a mad scientist might do in a lab on a stormy night. So what I've discovered that the phrase making a friend is a very common expression. All right, I will continue to read. But it kind of leaves the wrong impression. You don't make friends out of thin air. You find friends who are already there. They waited for a traffic light to change. A line of cars turned right. A van drove past them down the street, and someone waved from the far back seat. In other words, explained the older brother, you don't need to be bolder or smarter or funnier or cooler or measure yourself with some kind of ruler. They crossed the street. You're qualified. It's up to you to decide which person is your friend to be. So look around. He or she is out there somewhere. Don't be rude. Start a conversation, dude. Pretty soon, your search will end, and that is how you make a friend. Right, I'm going to pause right there. The older brother's advice about how to make a friend is an important part of this poem. I'm going to go back and reread that part to be sure I understand it. Okay. They crossed the street. You're qualified. It's up to you to decide which person is your friend to be. So look around. He or she is out there somewhere. Don't be rude. Start a conversation, dude. Pretty soon your search will end, and that is how you make a friend. So when I went back and reread that, what I'm understanding is that, it's up to us to reach out and make new friends. And we need to seek out those people that we want to be our friends. Okay? I'm going to continue to read. They took a shortcut through the park, and suddenly they heard a bark. A dog raced by, chasing a squirrel, and chasing the dog was a red-haired girl from the younger boys' class. And in the breeze of her running past, He seized a moment of confidence and laughter. "I'll help you," he hollered, running after. So I need to reread the details to see why the younger brother seized a moment. Um, and when I do, I learned that he decides to actually take his brother's advice. So that is today's read aloud. I think it has a great message, and I will see you soon. Make sure that you are doing all the activities and watching the videos in Kickstand, and then do any assigned activities on your Wonders to-do list. Again, you have a great day. I will see you soon.